was a nightmare. Completely unexpected nightmare.
It stands up, got its back to me, totally black and massive.
This thing stood up. It didn't stand up straight. It just kind of hunched over. That's when I realized that this thing had a for lack of a better, a wolf's head and what looked like a person's body.
And then the car's shaking, and when I say the car's shaking, I mean at this point, this thing has gotten a hold of the car, and it's shaking the car. I mean, just back and forth, shaking it and shaking it.
Hey, welcome to the NADP North American Dogman Project, podcast number 2.
How you guys doing?
Here we are in Ohio, enjoying the weather from the last hurricane. Now, to start off, we were going to just say some words about the hurricane coming into the Carolinas. We have a lot of friends out that way, and they're talking a Category 4. That's crazy, 130 and 40 mile an hour winds.
That's yeah. So our people that's down there, to everybody in that area, please be safe. Definitely listen what they tell you to do, and safety first. That's the motto of the NADP: safety first. So God bless you guys. You're all in our prayers, and just be safe. And please, after this is done, for you NADP members, let us know you guys are okay. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Let us know that you guys rode this out safely.
Yeah, don't try to
Be a hero.
don't try to stand the storm.
No.
And I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, we're going to batten down the hatches." This happened before, but they're talking over 40 inches of rain.
Nothing like this happened in 60 years.
Yeah,
60 years.
most of us haven't seen anything like this. So
Yeah.
best thing to do, grab your belongings, your kids, your animals, head inland. You know that they're going to have shelters set up in schools and places all over the place for to allow people to weather the storm. So
Yeah.
take heed and
Be safe. Be safe. All right. So what's on our agenda today?
well, we do have some sightings. Do you want to go over some sightings first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Like the Utah sighting is a recent one.
Yeah, that's very interesting. The Utah one. Got in contact with the young lady out there that had. This is the one with the horse.
It's the one with the.
I want to make sure it's the right one.
we get so
we
many.
get so many of them. I just got
The Utah one is the one where they saw it crawling across the yard.
Oh yeah, that's
She
what
said-
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
She said that thing was like
Oh my God.
10 foot long. She
Yeah.
said.
There's something that's been harassing her horses out in this area that she lives in, and there's the community that she lives in. There's right around, I think, like 10 homes just in that little area, and they've had multiple Bigfoot sightings in that area, so they know that there's Bigfoot there. But they said lately something evil is there, and
When you say evil, that's no joke. There's a baby fawn that keeps appearing in her yard, and it's dead, of course. Something has been toying with it. Actually, it disemboweled the thing, and it'll take it and then put it different places.
Yeah,
it just
it's
seems
like-
to keep coming back. It's really, really bizarre.
And she just sent me some recent pictures where this thing actually defecated right in front of her house on the driveway. Never had that before. She sent me pictures, and the scat's pretty big scat. I mean, it looks very much, like a coyote scat, but it's much, much bigger. And I said, do you have wolves, out there in Utah? And they said in that area they haven't had any sightings of wolves in quite a few years. But this thing, she feels it's taunting their family because they put lights up and everything out there. And there was one particular night where they didn't have the light on in one particular part of the house towards the yard. So the daughter wakes up because she's hearing something.
Right.
And she sees this thing like doing a combat crawl, along the fence line
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Sorry about our visitor.
yeah.
She's curious.
So she says she sees the elbows of this thing, crawling like this, and she did this drawing, and it's a wolf. I mean, this is what she said. This thing was a werewolf. She said this thing was like every bit 10 feet in length. And it was just crawling along the fences. She's looking out the window because the moonlight, there's enough light out there for the moon. She's able to see this thing. And she sent this incredible drawing of it, which is, really neat. But she was saying that she heard like this fighting between, two large animals. And she goes, one of them I know was a Bigfoot because we know with his holler, his scream, and all that stuff is. We know that. So this other thing she said, we just don't know what it is.
Come on, you distraction. She's cute, but she can be annoying.
But she said there was something there was a fight that was taking on out there. So she doesn't know if, this other entity out there, which she thinks is the Dogman. Every indication shows that's what it is, and it's basically pushing the Bigfoot that they know that's in that wood line there away. And she's frightened, and she goes, I'll do whatever I have to do to protect my family, and protect my animals. Thus far, it has not done any damage to the animals or livestock, but it's killing deers, and this one particular fawn that they killed, it took out its reproduction and its groin area, and what it was doing, they left it there. She went to go get a shovel to go bury it. She took pictures of it first, and then when she came back, it's gone. Okay, so a couple of days later, she's going back down into the area, to look around, and it's there in the same spot.
Right.
So this thing keeps taking it, putting it back, taking it, putting it back, like it's taunting her. And like I said, just recently, it's been coming into her yard and defecating, and it came all the way up and defecated in her driveway by the garage. So it's something's going on, and she's fair for her life actually, because she says all signs of the Bigfoot in the area is absolutely gone. So yeah, that's an interesting case, and we're still in contact. My last contact with her was last night. With the new developing what's going on, and she's afraid if we send a team out there that it's just going to provoke it,
right?
And it's going to do harm to her. So it's one of these touch and go things right now. We just don't know, how to handle it because we got it's safety first for the family. And if we do send a team out there to put cameras up, is this thing going to retaliate against the family? Right. Now, here's the odd thing. Everybody in that neighborhood knows what's going on, but no one wants to talk about it because it's one of these things that, I don't want to be called, crazy.
The
first.
crazy person.
Yeah.
You have to be crazy first.
The crazy person. And that's what it comes to. So, but that's an interesting case. And we'll keep you guys more posted on that as soon as we get more information.
Also, I'll post some of the pictures here on the podcast, but you can check them out on the website, NorthAmericanDogmanProject.com. We also have, what I think you're talking about, there's been a few horse attacks lately, but Pennsylvania horse attack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a very good friend out there who's a member of the NADP, and he's in contact with a horse rancher out there that had 2 attacks on their horses out there, and the one is up along the chest here, showing that the horse was upwards in a defensive mode when this thing attacked, and the thing about the scar, the scratch marks, they're too close together to be a cougar. A cougar would have been more spread out,
right?
Claws and stuff. This was, and the one mark actually looks like you can actually see like a thumb crawl, on their claw mark, which is kind of really interesting on, with that. Then we got another report from another researcher that there was a donkey that was attacked and very nasty wound on there, but there was actual tracks that were found at that site that were very large canine tracks at that attack.
Right.
So that's that's where, I mean, even here in Ohio a couple years ago, we had the 2 ponies that were killed and the 1 large horse that was attacked along with the sheep. And the DNR, we know for a fact the DNR and the Sheriff's Department covered that up big time and even destroyed, physical evidence, which were the tracks, of that particular attack. So there's something going on. There's definitely something going on, with these attacks. Now, a lot of the stuff, they're saying it's a cougar. Well, if you go back a few years ago when you're looking at all these Dogman sightings and Dogman attacks, we were trying to I'm trying to think of the right word, coincide, Dogman attacks to bear attacks, and to see if they were even to be covered up, because a bear attack would have been very easy, or a Dogman attack would have been easy to cover up, saying it was a bear, because of the tracks and the claw marks and things like that on the victim or the animal. Now it seems like everything's rushing towards cougars. Well, there is cougars in these areas. We do know that, and a few years ago, actually, I wrote the Ohio DNR about cougars in Ohio, and they sent me this packet, and I was just going through this just recently with everything going on, and the Ohio DNR was keeping track of a conference that took place in 1994 called the Eastern Cougar Conference, and this dealt with cougar sightings in the east part of the United States, the 25 states on this side here, and surprisingly, one of the sponsors that were there were the International Society of Cryptozoology, which I thought was kind of interesting.
It's really cool
because they
cool.
They call the cougar the ghost cat of North America, and they were keeping track, and you can see. This is their pamphlet from the conference, and if you contact your DNR and your eastern state, I'm guaranteeing they'll have copies of this, because most of the DNRs were following this, and they talk about, and this is what I find very interesting, with the cougar stuff. Let's say we'll take Kentucky because of all the stuff that's going on there. From 1983. From 1983 to 1994, just in Kentucky, there was sightings of 32 natural color cougars, 11 black cougars, and 7 cubs, just in Kentucky, just in that time period. So we know that the DNR was basically covering all of this stuff up. So I think right now, since they know about the amount of Dogman sightings and everything that's going on, this is the perfect cover up for it.
Sure.
Because I talked with some people that were part of the Eastern Cougar Society, and they were the ones that monitored all the cougar sightings on the east part of the country, and they said that the attacks that are going on right now just are not typical cougar attacks. It's just not typical of what a cougar would do. A cougar would not come in and take out 2 horses and take out a dog, especially a pit bull, and not eat them and just move on.
Right.
I would put my money up, and this is what they even said. I would put my money up against a pit bull over a cougar. There's actually a video of a coyote taking down a cougar. I've actually seen that, a coyote take down a cougar, and but they said it's it's not typical. They go in, they kill, they eat, and they move on. Okay, they just don't go in and just kill.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. You know, these attacks very well could be cougar. I'm not saying that they're not. They very well could be, but it's just what all the evidence is pointing to. It just doesn't seem like it's a cougar. We're not saying that it's a Dogman either, but there's definitely a large predator going around that is doing some damage, and you know, it's a mystery right now. But I can honestly see, you know, our Division of Wildlife in every state, and even the U.S. Forestry Service, you know, saying, hey, you know, we got the perfect cover-up right now, and this is it, because the cougar population is plummeting. I mean, it's blowing up. You know, it's blowing up. There are more and more sightings. You know, and what's another thing I found interesting. Ohio said they were never cougars in Ohio. Okay, and there was a book that was written in 1877 by a guy by the name of William Vanderbilt called A Buckeye Boyhood. And in that book, that him growing up in Ohio in the 1840s, he talks about the Black Panthers that roamed Ohio. You know, but he also talks about Bigfoot in that book also, which was really interesting. But you know, for them to say that there's nothing here is crazy. You know, there's too much physical evidence showing that there's something here. But there again, like I said, you know, this is the perfect opportunity for them to just cover up, you know, the Dogman stuff by saying, you know, this is what's going on.
And what's great is we're like living through it right now, because on September 2nd in Monroe, Kentucky, those 3 miniature horses and those dogs, I mean, all of those look like it could be a cougar. Those are all neck wounds. And then what was a couple days later, we have the calf that was killed, and then a bulldog that was killed. And I didn't see any pictures of the calf. Did you?
I didn't see any pictures of the calf or the dog.
I contacted the Benton family's daughter just to see if she needed any help or if they needed any assistance. And she posted some pictures. She posted the really good pictures, but she also posted the fact that there were canine tracks in the area. But, I mean, they had dogs as well, so it's really hard to tell unless you're standing right there. You're able to get on their property and walk around
and see what the tracks look like, how big the tracks were.
So we have notified our team, and hopefully some people get down there and do some personal interviews and take some photos and that kind of stuff, the typical investigative
but
research.
The thing of it is, you know, the media is really involved in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I reached out.
Props to Rick Barris.
I reached out to him.
For that guy. That's an investigative reporter right there,
he
man.
is, but he's keeping it all to himself. You know, because like I said, I reached out to him about it, and he, you know, several times, and he's never responded back.
May have to call Sheriff Dale. What's it? Dale Ford, right?
Yeah.
Frog.
That's
a sheriff. Every town in America should have a sheriff like that, boy.
Yeah.
He is hell-bent on protecting his people.
If, you know, he's resisting the DNR from falsifying documents, you know, so that's good.
That's a great guy. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Unfortunately, I hope none of the no more animals get killed and they capture whatever is doing this rampage.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane. So we're just waiting to see what the next word is on that. If we get any updates, we'll post them. They'll be on the website. Also, I know I posted this up on the website, but that we can't really say where it's at, but it's in Ohio. The guy that was delivering the fuel onto that work site actually saw a giant something on top. What's it on top of the?
Well, it was him. And it was a couple of the workers. What they found first were the fuel tanks that they load the fuel into. Something was on top of that and jumped down and landed on two legs.
And that's where he got the picture.
And he put his glove down there, which was really smart.
And
so they're looking around and they noticed this large. This is what they said. There was this large dog sitting on top of the shelter, the main where they keep a lot of the supplies in. About
ran behind the building and climbed up on the roof.
Yeah, and climbed up there, and no dog does that, and it's watching them the whole time, and they're taking pictures, and like no one will go near it. They were afraid. I mean, and they said that they see canine tracks all the time, but they said what's so weird about these tracks, whatever it is, it's walking on two legs. But it's so they took the picture, and a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a bird or something, but you have to understand it's a blurry picture because it was taken by a cell phone, at a pretty good distance away. Because
plus the weather seemed to be pretty
bad.
Much Ohio.
Yeah, but no one wanted to go up and get close to it, and things. But we have to take them for their word, that they say this is what it is, So
we have a general idea where it's at, and it's possible that we could, I guess, go up there and poke around, but we don't want to be caught on private property.
Yeah, without, we're still waiting for the okay. The driver's still waiting for the okay from the people who owned it to let us go up there and look around and stuff. Another thing I wanted to mention right off, a lot of people were asking about, the logo, the state logos and stuff, and do they come in stickers? Well, I've got these. I had these made by Vistaprint, and you can get I can't remember how many. I think it's 24 for like $11 or something like that. And they're neat. They're so that's where you want to get. And sometimes once you join Vistaprint, it's free. They send you coupons for 40 and 50% off, so you can double up on.
You get your business cards. You get everything through that. And do it all. Posters.
Yeah. This is my case. This is my carrying case. You can see I got all my stickers and stuff on there.
And then some.
Yeah, and then some. So you can see the different logos that that we did and stuff through Vistaprint.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. So contact Vistaprint, go to custom stickers, hit the first one there where you load your image in there. It's in a circle. If you have any problems, getting it loaded in there in size, call them up. They'll do it for you. Costs nothing. And then boom, there you go. Then now you got your logo sticker for your NADP chapter.
Awesome. And while we're on it, the shirts, you might have noticed the shirts.
Yeah, with her
got some patches.
Quick response team logo. Yeah.
Special response team.
Yeah. And this is when we do the boot camp in October. This is what the course is. It's going to be about the special response team, and you're going to get a certificate, and you're going to get a patch. For doing that, we got a lot of response, on the patch. People were like, can I get a patch? Can I get a patch? We're waiting to see on that first. We just don't kind of want to throw out the special response team patch that
unless you're an active investigator, you're ready to go. I mean, I get emails from people daily. What's going on? What's happening? Just let me know if it's close. It's a bordering state, whatever. Some of these guys are just gung-ho ready to roll.
Right, and another thing, too, on our website, we did, we talk about the organization and the chain of command and everything. And we're also going to be adding on there the regional directors, and we're going to try and put our state reps on there too. Just contact information, okay?
Right now, you're just looking at the. If you go to the website, it just shows the chart itself.
The chart, yeah.
Just kind of the layout. Yeah. But we'll be updating that. So
which is this one here.
Yep.
So this way, because this is what we want, and this is what we need, okay? If you're an investigator, okay, and you get a report, I want you to document that report. I don't care how old it is, if you get the drawing, everything. Once you get that, I want you to keep a copy for yourself, send a copy to your state rep. From there, the state rep is supposed to keep a copy for themselves, send a copy to the regional directors, and then the regional directors send a copy to us, because we can't keep track of the sightings in certain areas, the amount of sightings in an area. We can't keep what's that word called? Where you collect all the data.
Collecting all the data?
Yeah, collecting all the data. There's another word for it. It just slipped my mind, but keep track of everything, and we can't do it unless we get all this information. So you'll have contact information on the website to send the information to, so we have it.
Oh no!
So, hey, Cat.
We have a mascot here.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go into all the boot camp stuff at this time?
Yeah, let's get into the boot camp.
Since we're on there. Here, Joedy. Come on, girl.
All right.
You gotta get down.
All right. The boot camp got moved to the 19th, 20th, and 21st of October. Okay. I put a video out of the area. It's a really nice area. It's going to have a porta potty there, so everybody will have to sit there and use the restroom in the woods and stuff. It's going to be neat. Friday night, I like to get everybody there by 6 o'clock Friday. Kind of have a meet and greet with everybody Friday. Everybody talk about their experiences, talk about their research, just everybody just in a talk around the fire. And then we'll go out later that night and, do some thermal imaging and night vision work out in the field, get everybody used to it, caught up on it. And then Saturday, we'll get up and get breakfast, and that's when the classes start. We're going to have classes on, making a cast. We're going to have classes on, what to look for when you're out in the field, different type of evidence. We're going to have classes on equipment. We're going to have classes on, on basic animals. We got a lot of really good props and stuff that we're going to have for that particular class. We're going to have a retired Command Sergeant Major from the Army Intelligence that's going to come in and talk to us about how to conduct an investigation, how to find out if you're getting the truth told to you, certain questions to ask, which is really neat. And then we have a retired Lieutenant Colonel from the United States Army Special Forces that's going to be there to kind of show us, how to operate in the field, correctly, silently, be able to notice things that you would never ever notice before.
He's a master.
Yeah, this guy's a master at it.
Super skilled.
And then we're going to do a night investigation, but also we're going to do things like I call it role play, scenarios where someone's going to see something, they're going to come back and they're going to give us the report, and we're going to take turns talking to people and taking the information down to see how well we do without leading the witness and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. That's just part of it. So it's going to be a neat event. Sunday, it's going to be a little bit less of a day. In the morning, we're going to do some more classes and things, and so get everybody home by the weekend. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be neat and things. We got people coming in from Canada. There's only enough room that we want to keep to about 20 people. Okay, so right now we're already halfway through. So if you're interested in coming, send me a email so I can put you down on the list. It's $20 fee. The $20 is covering for your patch, your certificate, getting the area cleaned up, covering the porta potty, things like that. We'll send a list out of things you need. Bring food, okay, a tent, a chair, There's going to be tables and stuff set up there, benches and stuff, place to sit, but still bring a chair, flashlight, no guns, no weapons. You can bring a knife, machete, that's fine. Okay? We already have people saying, hey, can we go shooting up there? No guns whatsoever. Okay? They will be one, okay, I will have on property there because there are coyotes up there. They are bobcat up there. And they've actually had quite a few Bigfoot sightings within 1 mile of that area. Okay? So, but there'll be one gun on site for security purposes. Okay? But don't bring a gun. Okay? If you've got a concealed weapon permit, just leave it in your car or leave it at home. It's not because safety first. Safety first. Because, there's a lot of crazy people out there, and God forbid that one decides he just wants to do a mass shooting, at an event and stuff, and it's just, things, it's a crazy world we live in, So, here in Cincinnati, we just had a mass shooting, a few days ago, and they still don't know why this guy did what he did, so safety first.
Absolutely. And with that, we also managed to get some new equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Joedy picked up a Flir Scout TK.
Oh, yeah. These things are neat.
$5.99. It does take photos and it does record video.
Video, yeah. They're nice. They're nice. If you can get one, Cabela's has them for $599. They're really beautiful. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
Right.
But it's super, man. It's got a really good picture on it, and it's really good. I love it. It's a wonderful piece. And then I end up getting, because I also have a Apple Pro tablet, the 12.5 tablet, and I end up getting this for it, which is the thermal imaging that hooks up to it. And you can get these anywhere from, you can get them from Flir, anywhere from $250 to about $400, depending on what type of iPad or phone that you have. Depends on, if you have an Apple, you're going to pay more, and that's just how it is. And so this little thing was $400, but but on a 12-inch iPad, man, it awesome. It's got like six or seven different variations of thermal imaging, on there, different shades, which is just really neat.
The white hot, black hot.
Yeah.
I know the Flir Scout does as well.
Yeah, and you can do video, on your iPad. You can do pictures on your iPad, and it's neat, So those are neat little things that to have.
And really, with the Flir Scout as well, when Brian and I were in Germantown, driving down the road, you could cover so much more territory because we were driving through just tiny rural roads, big fields, had the Flir going the whole time. You could see through the fields, into the woods, any signatures, anything that looked remotely questionable, we could stop and check it out. We covered that whole, I bet we covered probably a 10-mile block. I swear to God, we drove everywhere and saw herds, tons of deer, smaller animals, but it's so useful. It's just amazing.
The only bad thing about this is when you just have to make sure your iPad, or your phone is fully charged and this is fully charged. Because if this is not fully charged, it will eat your battery from your iPad all the way down to 0. Okay, you have to make sure this is fully charged when you use it. That's the downside of it. But, you have a bigger screen to work with, and they're really, really neat, and that way you can keep it on you. and hook it up to your phone right away if you need to, to have it. They're neat. I love them.
And another thing about cameras, as far as infrared goes, and you might be carrying around an expensive handheld camcorder, leave that thing at home. I'm a paranormal investigator. It's useless in the woods because the IR only emits so far, and once it hits leaves, when you're in the woods, it's useless.
Yeah.
What works for IR is trail cams, because you put those trail cams in areas that are fairly open, and you get anywhere from 50 to 100 feet of good IR distance, and you can get some great stills and video as well. But what you want to do is you want to get a hands-free camera. You can get a Hero Black 6 for, what is it, $3.99 or $4.99?
Yeah, those are good ones, yeah.
It's 4K. Mount it to a helmet like my Hero. This is a Hero 3 Silver. This thing takes amazing footage. And at night, the only way to get those cameras to work is to have some serious illumination.
Right.
So if you're walking through the woods and you want to get some legit footage, you're going to need probably about a minimum, I would say about 5,000 lumens. Now these, you'll see on these lights right here, these are very high powered lights. You'll notice on this there are basically three flashlights in one. Each one has a T6 chip that's 1,000 lumens. This is a 3,000 lumen flashlight. I used it during another investigation in Germantown where I had the camera, and it worked pretty well, but I want more illumination. That way if something comes flying out of the woods or at us, we got it dead to rights. Plus, when it walks into 3,000, or in case this light right here, you can see this has 7 T6 chips. My goal is to get 2 of these and mount them to my helmet. That way I'll have up to 14,000 lumens, which will certainly blind whatever it is coming at us. And we'll have it, you could have it in 4K if you wanted. So you could, get every little expression from whatever it is that's charging you. So, and it's hands-free. These will mount on the helmet. The camera's rolling the whole time. Those batteries last a long time. So that's really kind of the way to go. But you don't walk around with this setup on. You basically walk around using a thermal, and then when you find a target that looks really suspicious and you get close enough to it, then you can fire up, the 10,000 lumens or whatever you got, and capture it, and that's what we're about. We're not just going to start shooting something we don't know what it is. So, but that helps out as well. And did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I was going to say the Pro GoPros there.
Yep. I know they make they do make them with IR.
Yeah.
There's I don't know how good they are.
On Home Depot's website, they have some on there right now. They're doing a sale on them for right under $40 a piece, with the cover, with the protective case and a bunch of accessories. And they're good. They're good pieces to use. I've had a couple of them before, and for that amount of money, it's not bad.
Is it? I wonder if it's the same company. I bought a video camera for my car, a dash cam, and that thing is amazing. I love that thing.
Yeah,
and it was like 30 bucks at
Kohl's. Kohl's was selling them at and Kohl's and Home Depot sells them at Christmas time for like $25-30. You can stick it in your dash there, and
it's amazing. The footage is great. It's really good.
It's awesome for the price.
Anytime I go on a just a drive through, I'd go just drive to some of these locations around here that we've known that we've had Bigfoot sightings and alleged Dogman sightings. I'll just drive around the roads, but I never go drive anywhere without that cam on, man. Especially at night, because it's so much more difficult to capture anything at night, and it seems like cryptids are on the move a little more at night, especially when they're around these towns. So they don't want to be seen. They're smart enough. They're sentient. They don't want to be seen. Hey, I got something else that's really cool. This thing's awesome. This is a critter collar. Check it out. It mounts on your belt. You just lay this thing down in the woods. You get 50 yards away from it, and you can have it do all kinds of different injured animals, from rabbits to different birds and distress calls, jackrabbit, coyotes, just all kinds of stuff on here. It's really cool. But that's a way to, if you want to be stationary, which is probably a good idea for most of it, you can just sit in a location, a tree line or something, and put it out in the field, put your thermal on, and get your cameras ready, and just camp out there. And while you're doing it also, you don't want to be detected, and you don't want your equipment to be detected. What I got here is called Fresh Earth. You can go to Cabela's or Dick's or whatever and pick this stuff up. Can you smell it?
Yeah.
It's fresh. It is Fresh Earth. It's super strong. But you want to attach this to your trail cams. You want to put some, if you're wearing a vest or something, or put it on your belt. Strap a couple of them on there. These things are super strong, and they'll cover your odor pretty good. So that's some of the new stuff we got. What else you got, sir?
Nope, that was really about it. We want to talk about equipment, just some of the stuff that's going on. Hopefully, soon we'll be able to announce something big.
Oh yeah, we're announcement that we had to. I know some people that we had contacted. We were going to meet up in Toledo. There is a conference the weekend after next, the 22nd. Go to Paranormal Toledo at the Collingwood Arts Center. It's a lot of really cool paranormal stuff up there, but we were going to do a presentation. But we got called out on an investigation, and this is it's a really important one for us. And it's we really can't say much about it, but
No,
hopefully we will at a later date.
at a later date we can say what
It's
what,
an
what's
important
happening.
investigation.
Just imagine your wildest dreams for the NADP, and so let's see. We got an event that's happening in November at Post Town. I think it's like November 2nd or something like that. That we're going to be up there for that.
Props to Daryl and Post Town
Yeah.
and Nick and all those guys up there too for running those paranormal investigations out of there. Plus all the events they get to do up there. It's really starting to draw a lot of people in. Plus it's just down the road.
Yeah.
For me, not from you, but
Yeah. But yeah, the events are fun. They're fun to do and things. We haven't done a whole lot of events with the amount of stuff that's going on, and some events
and
basically didn't want us because they're how can I say this without being too much?
stepping on toes.
Yeah, we're stepping on a certain researcher's toes,
Speaking of toes.
and that particular researcher is very well known, and people are coming to us and no longer going to them, so they are kind of giving us kind of a bad name, because we're the bad guys now, because we're the Dogman research organization to go to, and things, and and this is the truth, and I'm not bragging, okay, and this is the stats, okay. We are the largest Dogman research organization in North America. We are. There is nobody else out there that does this. That we are. If you want to say international, we'll say international, because we have chapters in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and 3 European countries. That people are very interested in what we do. We get it all the time when people say, when they see something, or they talk to someone, we are the ones that they always refer to. And, they say that, like the Utah case was a perfect example. She said when she was doing the research on this, there was just no one else up there to go to other than you guys. And this is a good thing from GoDaddy is, the amount of hits that we get. GoDaddy says porn sites are not getting hit as much as we are. And that, I guess that's a good thing. People are being moral, I guess. But they said, porn sites don't get hit as much as you guys do. GoDaddy loves us. They say they sit and look at our site all the time. Hey,
Speaking of, of that as well. I mean, people are excited when they find out what a Dogman is, and the most familiar thing with it is a werewolf. It really takes their mind into a different space. So I thought about this. I thought about nomenclature. Bigfoot, poor thing, being called Bigfoot is just kind of Looney Tunes. I like the guys. There's a team down south that I like a lot. They called it a wood ape, and I thought that was really appropriate. Was wood ape. So I thought about changing. See what everybody thinks about changing the name from Dogman. I mean, I know we're the North American Dogman Project, so we don't want to change that. But rather than call it Dogman, call it. We got Canis lupus. It's a gray wolf. Canis dirus is a dire wolf. How about Canis magna, the great wolf? Just call it the great wolf. And the reason why is because this is for our investigators. When you go to these rural towns, like, man, I went up to Lewisburg, and I always go to the local watering holes or the convenience stores, like the main one in town. And I'll just start talking to folks, and I'll say, hey, have you happened to see, or have you heard of anybody talking about seeing wolves or some kind of animals that they can't identify? And a lot of them ask me, what are you talking about exactly? And I'd kind of be, most of the time I just say, well, they're not coy dogs or anything, they're wolves, but they're just larger than normal. I'd like to be able to hit them with kind of a, hey, it's a Canis magna. Out in Montana they have buffalo wolves. I don't know what the technical term for it is. They're really rare, but they're, people freak out when they see them, like they did in that newspaper article the New York Post had. So I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool to, when I go into these towns, I'm going to see it's just a Canis magna. It's called a great wolf. It's just a big wolf. If you see them, here's our card. See, that sounds a whole lot better than going, hell yeah, you guys seen any Dogman up in here? Man, they're going to be like, what? This guy's crazy.
That's one of the
Get out of our
things.
store.
I always liked the name Man Dog.
Man Dog.
That's when I've always, the Man Dog. That's what Native Americans always referred it to as the Man Dog. Dogman it's a neat name, but there's a couple comics out called Dogman and stuff.
Oh yeah,
kids comics and stuff.
You get that on Amazon.
Yeah,
you get that on Twitter.
Yeah,
when you hashtag Dogman, a little dude comes up.
So we need to come up with a really good name.
I thought the Great Wolf's pretty good because I mean if
the Great Wolf's go in, or the Black Dog or something like that.
The Black Dog, that's
the Black Dog. That's another, because what we found out about the name Black Dog. That's a law enforcement code name for Dogman, and Black Cow is the law enforcement code name for Bigfoot. It's something we can use. Great Wolf is that's a good one. But Dogman is just it's very confusing to people, and when they think of Dogman, God knows what goes through their mind.
Right. Is this a part dog, part man? I don't want to say that because it's not. Well, it's not
because it's not part man. It's not part dog. It's a species of its own. So that's something that we've been kind of looking into to kind of, get things moving on that side that, we can use. So,
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope, I think that's good. I think we're all caught up for now.
Yeah.
So podcast 2 in the books.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. If you're new and you have no idea what Dogman is, check out our website. If you're down for becoming an investigator or a researcher, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah,
Sign up.
and if you're, like you said, as far as for the boot camp, information's on the website under events. You'll be able to find it there. Contact information, everything's on there. Let us know, if you're interested in coming down, for that event. And another thing too, I providing what's going on right now that we can't talk about. I want to do a conference. I really do. I want to do a Dogman conference and bring people in to talk, make it a meet and greet type thing. Bring, the people who come to the event, bring them up on the stage. Let them talk about their experiences. Kind of more of a get together than it is a conference type thing. So where everybody can, listen to people's stories, talk about how we can better the North American Dogman Project, how we can better the field itself, and I think it's going to be neat, to do that. And, if you guys got any ideas, about that, let us know. Because I want to try and hit something for next year, to be honest with you, get something going. So, but,
that would be great.
Yeah. Keep in touch, guys. If you have any questions, let us know, any thoughts, concerns, keep us posted.
All right, sir.
All right.
We're out. Thanks. Have a good one.
So there's some things we want to do. We want to straighten things out historically. Did you just hear that? What the fuck? What was that?